Om Sadashivasamarampham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryyantam Vande Guru-paramparam Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay. I thought we saw the 22nd verse last time, right? Chapter 1, canto 2.
Yes, Swamiji.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shariram,
Ready to you, sir.
Ashariram, Sharireshu, all that. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
To see the permanent in the impermanent, to see that which is free from the body in the body. But he is doing a very, in these verses, it is not just presenting a contradictory view. Because the world is mithya and Brahman is satyam. Therefore, where will you find the satyam? Where you are seeing the mithya. Where will you find the rope? Wherever you are seeing the snake. You can, for appearances, say the rope is beyond the snake, etc. But which beyond? Right there. Yeah. Where are you going to see the cloth? Where the kurta is, no? Yeah. If you are talking about some other cloth, that is not this cloth we are talking about. Yeah. So where the kurta is, there the cloth is. Where the snake is, there the rope is. You have to understand that whatever you call as mithya is right there. Is what you are seeing, what you are experiencing is the mithya part of it. What is reality is satyam. Therefore, you cannot take satyam and mithya as two separate entities. It is not two separate entities. One is appearance, one is fact. You have to take it like that. One is appearance and the other is a fact. One is the reality, the other is an appearance. If you don't take it like that, you will get into a lot of problems. It won't become Vedanta, it will become some other stuff. Most likely it will become like Sankhya. Because there is no way you can separate out except in your understanding. How are you going to physically separate out the kurta and the cloth? Tell me. How are you going to physically separate out the rope and the snake? Luckily, because the snake is pratibhasika, does not have a functional validity. It disappears on knowledge. But the kurta doesn't disappear. Your flat earth doesn't disappear. So how are you going to physically separate the flat earth and the round earth? Just not feasible. Just not possible. Yeah. Nor you need to try. It is bhada, is negation on knowledge. So that is why these verses, Shariram, Ashariram, Sharireshu, etc., all highlighting that part of it. Because where the problem is, there the solution also has to be there. Therefore, the knowledge of the rope, the knowledge of the Atman has to take place where the problem is. The problem of the snake or the anatma is there in the mind, caused by avidya, which is there in the mind. Therefore, the knowledge also has to take place in the mind. You can't leave the mind behind and try to get any knowledge. There will be some mystical experience you are getting. There also mind is involved, but your conscious thinking mind is not involved. Some sort of mystical experience you are getting. Yeah. But an experience being what it is dumb. And experience being what it is dumb. It doesn't teach you anything. It's your analysis of the experience that teaches you something. Clear about this? Any questions or clarifications?
Swamiji,
Yeah?
in the case of like the kurta and the cloth, I am able to experience the cloth separate from the kurta because I've seen it in a separate form, in a form of something.
Before the kurta was made. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But in the case of Satyam and Mithya, that is obviously not possible.
See, this is also Satyam and Mithya. Because kurta is Mithya, cloth is Satyam. No?
Yes.
At this level.
Yes.
In this framework, yeah. In the framework of the example, the kurta is Mithya, cloth is Satyam. What happens is in rope snake you don't see that. In rope snake, if one is seen, the other disappears. Why? Because pratibhasikam is subjective. It does not have an objective reality. The snake does not have an objective reality, therefore it disappears. Whereas here the kurta has a functional reality. It's available for function. Therefore it continues your knowledge. Yeah. The world is similar. You understand the world as Brahman, it will continue experientially. Experientially the world will continue. Yeah. Yeah. So that will happen, yeah. Any other questions or clear? Okay, there are no questions, let's go ahead. Now, how do you get this knowledge? Next was fact, and there is Arthavada also mixed up in it. Okay, very nicely put. Nayamatma pravachanena labhyah na medhaya na bahuda shrutena yamesha vranete tena labhyah satyesha atma vivarnete tanum swam. Nayamatma pravachanena labhyah. You have studied enough to give you a lot of pravachans. Or you are attending a lot of pravachanas. Pravachan is public talk on Vedanta. Nayamatma labhyah. Okay. Na medhaya. You got great memory. You can repeat everything that the teacher said. Pat karke. Na medhaya. Na bahuda shrutena. You have done proper shravanam to the sampradaya with teacher. That also you have done. Na bahuda shrutena. Why? Because he says, he is highlighting the most important thing. Yam me shavranate tena labhyaha. One who chooses it gets it, he says. What is your intention with which you are studying? Are you making a choice for moksha? Or you are studying it because 2 days I go for a walk, 2 days I have yoga class, 2 days I go for a walk, 2 days I play bridge, and 1 day I attend Vedanta class. My whole life is nicely structured. I am not joking. I have people in my class who used to do this, and I used to call them out. No, अच्छा है ना? थोड़ा we are in touch with Indian culture, this, that, etc. It's good to know. It's good to know. That much general knowledge you will pick up. You will pick up general knowledge. अच्छा है. Not more than that. Have you made it a choice? Made it a priority for yourself? It's the ultimate priority. Are you willing to take this as your ultimate priority? Ultimately, what you want is moksha. In between, you have other things to do, you will do it, you will take care of it. But moksha is my priority. Then you will get it. Why? Because then you are willing to do what it takes. If you have made that choice, then Shravanam is good. How else are you going to get it anyway? Meda is good. It will make it easier for you. Attending a lot of provisions is good because you will get different perspectives. But you have not made moksha a choice, then you will get confused with all that. This teacher said that teacher said that, this teacher. What is your choice? If your choice is moksha, then you know what moksha is about. It is not meant to be postponed. It is here and now. It's not a result of an action or an experience. It is direct cognition because you are already free. You are not creating a freedom in you. You are free, you are recognizing that. What you are recognizing is I was never bound. How much of it is your life choice? How much are you choosing it? How much are you willing to say, yeah, I want it? No, Swamiji, I want it, but. No, but. No, but. I have responsibilities. Karma Yoga lifestyle. Do you still want it? This is not a question of give to God what is God's, give to Caesar what is Caesar's. So we are not saying don't fulfill your responsibilities. Who is saying that? After living as a sadhu in Rishikesh, I came and lived at home so because my parents were old. Big deal. Who said don't take care of your responsibilities? That is not the question. The question is, are you using your responsibilities, your duties, or what you want to do as an excuse not to commit to moksha? That is the question. I mean, who doesn't have responsibilities in life? All of us have. All of us have. Who doesn't have? The responsibilities you resolve to take care of it. Or kya? Big deal. Why is it hanging on your head as though it's a big burden? Yeah. Yeah. So I was studying in Rishikesh when my father had to undergo a surgery. So I came down, took care of the surgery, saw that he was back on his feet. He was fit enough to, within 5 days, he was fit enough to climb two flight of stairs to be home. And I ensured he is going for his walk, etc., etc. 10 days, whole thing taken care of. I went back to Rishikesh. Big deal. So what's the big deal about it? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, responsibilities are something you have to do. What's the big deal about it? People say responsibilities, responsibilities, responsibilities. Make it an excuse to duck the issue of moksha. Look into your own minds. I am not saying everyone should become a full-timer. Commitment doesn't mean being a full-time, being a sadhu. No. Commitment is in your mind, in your this thing. How much are you? Commitment is how much karma orientation you have and how much knowledge orientation you have. How much of a karmata you still are. I not only did Abhishek, I put up that photograph in the groups or everything to see. But I am not a karmata. Yeah. My nishtha is a jnanam. Karma is something that you do to gain Dayananda Ishwara's grace for myself and all the students. Myself so that the jnana parampara will continue through me. My students so that they will become good links in the jnana parampara. That's it. So you do that. But what is there? Where is the commitment? Jnanam or karma? Many people will need to really look into their hearts and see that how much of the commitment is there. How much commitment is there? Yeah. Otherwise it just remains a shubhecha. है ना? अच्छा है, मुझे मोक्ष मिलेगा तो अच्छा है ना. It is like when you do all the prayers etc. There it is mentioned na. When you make the sankalpa, dharma, artha, kama, mokshartham, you want everything. Bhukti, mukti, pradayini, namaha. Yeah, money is a good thing. You're praying for money. Yeah, for what? It makes your life easier so that you have more time for moksha. Finished. Yeah, it makes your life easier, na? Yeah. Because you don't have to bother about money. It gives you that financial freedom to do what you want to do. And what do you want to do? Moksha. What do you want to do? Take care of your loved ones. Fine. So, yam mesha vrinate tena labhyaha, he says. Therefore he says, satyesha atma vrinate tanum swam. To that seeker, the Atma will reveal its true nature, he says. If your desire for moksha is that strong, you will, they say now when the student is ready, the guru appears, the teacher appears. It is not the teacher appearing. Teachers are always there around. It's only when your commitment is there to moksha, you will recognize the guy as your teacher. Look at Arjuna himself, one of the finest students of his times. Krishna was always around him. Buddy, brother-in-law, comrade in arms, friend philosopher and guide also. At times he also treated Krishna as Bhagwan. If Krishna is there, problems are taken care of. Even that he did. It's only when he discovered the need for moksha in himself, he saw the teacher in Arjuna, in Krishna. When Arjuna found the student in himself. I want moksha, nothing else will satisfy this mind of mine. It's on the battlefield, but what to do? I can't move ahead unless I gain moksha. He found, yeah, Krishna is also a teacher. I had not recognized that about him. Even for me. Puja Swamiji Dayananda was French philosopher and guide. Gurudev was an inspiration. I used to go and chat with, like how many of the youngsters come and chat with me, I used to go and chat with Puja Swamiji. Everything under the sun. Anything I can't discuss with my parents or the other grown-ups, I would go and discuss with him. Anything and everything. People will be surprised what all I have discussed with him. Yeah. Anything and everything. No holds barred. When I discovered the need for moksha in me, I found, oh my God, he is much more than friend, philosopher and guide. He is Guru. It's different. I am ready. The Guru is already there. I had to be ready. I had to go through life's experiences, mature out and be ready. Therefore it looks, he says, as though Atma is revealing itself. Yeah, through a Guru. Isharo Guru Ratmeti Murti Bheda Vibhangane Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Sri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. The one reality that appears as the Atma I, as the Lord, Ishvara and the Guru. Therefore, the Guru, who is nothing but the consciousness that reveals you as nothing but the consciousness. And shows your identity with Ishvara so that you understand that the consciousness is not limited by anything. Then Pravachanam, Meda, etc. will all work very nicely. Your Meda, very good. You don't come to every class with a clean slate. It's good. Yeah. Then Shravanam will help. More Shravanam you do better. Yeah. Because your commitment is high. Yeah. Only ensure you listen to a sampradaya with. If your commitment to moksha is high enough, you will recognize that. Okay. Can go on and on, but that's enough. Then some highlights, some fine tuning of your mind, etc. Okay, what is that fine tuning? Na avirataha duscharitaha, na ashanta, na asamahitaha, na shanta manaso vapi prajnanenam amnuyat. Na prajnanene evam avniyat. Enam apniyat. By knowledge, by being exposed now, you are not going to get this, he says. Who is not going to get it? Here. Na avirita duscharita. One who has not desisted from adharmic behavior. Duscharitam. Jealous. Lot of jealousy. Lot of, oh, I don't steal anything, but I steal credit. The stealing credit is a big thing, you know. I know a Mahatma from Gujarat who actually came and told us, no, I was responsible for sending Modi to Delhi. And I know the whole story, who was responsible, what is responsible, what type of discussion technique. I know all that, but he doesn't know I know that. I had no hand in it, okay? I'm making it very clear. Absolutely no hand. But I know what happened. Where the discussion happened, who all were involved in the discussion. That I know. But this man claims. Means what? Dushcharitam. Why? You need, like where does this duscharita come? You need to feel important. You can't say I am a fakkad. I am a fakkad from Rishikesh staying in a nukkad in Bombay. You can't say that because you feel low about yourself. You have to feel great by saying, yeah. You need props. What is this problem called in the Gita? You remember? It comes in the 13th chapter. Dambitva. Because he is claiming what he doesn't have. Manitvam is claiming respect for what you had done. Dambitvam, yeah, for what you have not done. Adambitvam is a value. So like this is the Duscharitam he is talking about. You always want validation, respect from people. Why? Why do you need that? It's okay. It's okay. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Pujya Swamiji's words ring. He
Yeah.
used to say, Dambachari.
Yeah.
In his voice. And still,
Yeah. So, this is all the Duscharitam. Why do you want to do all the wrong things? Why do you want to exploit people? For whatever. I called him a Mahatma because he happens to be a sannyasi. So therefore, I was respecting the clothes, not the person. Respecting the role he is playing, though he doesn't see the greatness of it himself. So, this type of things happen. I mean, it happens to us. You have to be careful about it. Dushcharitam, exploiting someone, exploiting people. All this is dushcharitam. Feeling jealous. What is there to be jealous about? Somebody is lucky, good, yaar. Prarabdha is good. Be happy that at least someone has got it. Or learn from him how you did it. But he has done a lot of wrong things. I can't do wrong things. Good. You are a better human being then. Fine. Don't do wrong things. Yeah. But he is more successful. Correct. Now, what are you valuing? Worldly success or moksha? And what is the success you are talking about anyway? That a few more people know about you. Some more money comes in. What are we talking about? So, there is where you have to look into the whole thing. What is dushcharitam here? It's easy to say adharmic behavior. Correct, it's adharmic behavior. But you have to understand the nuances. Nobody is going to go and kill somebody. If you are interested in Vedanta, are you going to do that? Are you going to go and rob a bank? No. How many of us cheat taxes? Samji, I'll adjust the bill so that we don't have to pay GST. You know? All this comes up. You have to look into all these things. You don't have to be rigid about it. Remember, it is not black and white. Examine your grey areas. That's what you are talking about. Black and white is easy to talk about. At this level, you don't have to talk about black and white. Understand your grey areas. Understand your own shadow side. Your dark side. Understand that. Understand your fears. That's also part of dushcharitam. Why are you afraid to take a stand? This happens a lot in our middle class society. Afraid to take a stand. What will people say? Oh, no, Baba, you'll get into trouble. Yeah. Not get into trouble. So, all this, understand this is what the dushcharitam means, the lack of courage in living your life. Very important. I remember when the former Perivar of Kanchi was put behind the bars by Jayalalitha. I went to his devotees in Bombay who used to consider him as God and said, let's have a prayer meeting for him here in Bombay. They were scared. When he comes, you worship him and treat him as God. But when I am talking about a prayer meeting, not in Chennai, Jayalalitha has got no influence in Bombay. Dayanidhi has got no influence in Bombay. Why can't you make a statement against it? No. Prayer meeting. No, Dayanidhi, Udayanidhi, sorry. No influence in Bombay. I wrote an article against the whole thing. Afraid to take a stand. The same people who are worshipping him as God. Duscharitam, this is part of Duscharitam. Yeah. No courage to stand up for what you believe in. Understand, there is not simple Duscharitam, good behavior, bad behavior. I am goody, middle class morality. That's not what we are talking about here. When he says Duscharitam, we are not talking about middle class morality. Understand this. A middle class morality has great elements of hypocrisy in it. I am calling a spade a spade. If some of you are uncomfortable, be uncomfortable. Deal with that discomfort. Yeah. It's like middle class morality. I remember once in a previous Gita class, we are dealing with Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic thing in the Gita. So it came the question of Rajasic food, Tamasic food, Sattvic food. So when I read all the verses, I said, is anywhere it mentioned that any food item by name is Sattvic, Tamasic, Rajasic? Is it mentioned by name? Like how they mention, for example, garlic is Tamasic or Rajasic or milk is Sattvic. Have they mentioned anything by name? And this Mama who was sitting in the class tells me, Swamiji, it is Vaikuntha Ekadashi day today. How are you talking like that? I said, because Vaikuntha Ekadashi, I have to make you understand even better what Krishna said. No food item is mentioned by name because it's situational. Even teaching sometimes becomes situational. Huh? Teaching is situational? Yeah. You teach in a way that the student who's sitting in front of you can understand. Just imagine, if by chance Duryodhana had chosen Krishna instead of the army. You know, when Duryodhana and Arjuna both came, Arjuna was given the first choice. But he chose Krishna, not the army. Me or my army, what do you want? Supposing that choice went to Duryodhana and Duryodhana had also chosen same, Krishna. And on the battlefield, if Duryodhana was to say, I don't know what dharma, I don't feel like fighting this battle, what do you think Krishna would have told him? You must fight? You would have said, very good, you are doing the right thing. Battle is bad. Give half the kingdom to the Pandavas, let there be peace. Of course, there will be no Gita.
There will be no Mahabharata.
Yeah. So, is to an extent the situation also guides, no? Who comes in front? Like I was traveling by train once, and these characters are fooling around this, that, etc. They don't have any respect for this learning of the sadhu sam. But as time passed, they said, Maharaji, थोड़ा सुनाइए ना कुछ अच्छा बात सुना. I said, क्यों अच्छा बात है, सब आप लोग बहुत अच्छा बात कर रहा है, कीजिए इसे. नहीं कुछ अच्छा बात. So I told him, do what you have to do, don't do what you shouldn't be doing. हाँ महाराज जी बहुत अच्छा बात है, और कुछ बताइए ना, ये करके आ जाइए फिर बताएगा. Live like this for a couple of years, then come back to me, I'll teach you. At the same time, I remember once in a BST bus double decker in Bombay, I taught Adhyasa Bhasha to one of the persons who had asked. I summed up the whole Swamiji's Adhyasa Bhasha, what this lady had missed some classes. Revati, I'll tell you her name, some of you know her. And I summed up that for her. Why? Because person asking is different. Situation is different. So look at what it is. Duscharitaha, na ashantaha. Okay. Na ashanta. Mind is always scattered, running around here and there, everywhere. Mind can't be resolved. Hey, you have to learn Vedanta. Vedanta is very subtle. You miss things, you'll miss it. Shanto bhava. Quiet in that mind. With that quiet mind, learn. Quieten mind is not, oh, quieten my mind, I got moksha. No. With that quieten mind, learn. Ashantaha, asamahitaha, not a mastered mind. The mind does what it wants, doesn't listen to you. क्या करूं, कंट्रोल नहीं हो पा रहा है. The mind is an instrument for you. You are not meant to be dictated to by the mind. Remember my thing? Dog wagging the tail or the tail wagging the dog? The mind is like the tail, dog's tail. Keep it like that. When the dog wags the tail, it is very beautiful. Therefore, a mastered mind, which technically put as samadhama, uparati, titiksha, etc. All master. You learn to master your thinking. You are fine. All the negativities, etc., are thrown off. Your irrational beliefs, etc., are examined. It's a big thing, examining your irrational beliefs, because they have crept into you subconsciously. They crept into you unknowingly as a process of socialization when you grew up. Yeah. If you're spiritual, you must be all about peace, peace, peace. Never talk, even think of violence. Who said that? There's the overplay of ahimsa in our lives that has come last 100 years. What did Krishna say? What did Krishna say? Yeah, pick up the sword when it has to be. We are not pacifists. We are peace loving. But that doesn't make us pacifist. There's a time for peace, there's a time for war. And you're comfortable with both. Samahitaha. No. I'm not comfortable with any confrontation. Huh? What is that? You're running scared of a simple verbal confrontation. Can't be assertive enough. ये क्या बात है? Where is the boldness of spirit? Not there. Na ashanta manasaha. Now 2 shantas are used. So the second shanta should be more in terms of being able to focus and things like that. It's just a side because it's a repetition. Therefore I am looking at it slightly different. How much can you focus? Do you have that laser sharp focus available for you? Vapi, if these things are not there, he says, the study will not be fruitful enough, will not be fruitful. Because remember, if the mind was meant to be junked, there is no need for all this. But there is avidya in the mind. If avidya in the mind, knowledge should take place in the mind. Therefore, that mind should be refined. All this is refining and fine-tuning the mind. Swami Chinmayanji has written a series of articles called Tuning the Mind. I don't know how many people who have knew Swami Chinmayanji know about that book. Tuning the mind. How do you fine-tune things? Yeah. There also he talks about a lot of sides and nuances. So fine-tune it. Because without fine-tuning, how are you going to get that knowledge? Your mind is too gross. To see infinity in a grain of sand and timelessness in a moment. That is a mind that understands Vedanta. Yeah, that is a mind. they'll understand Vedanta. So you have to understand subtle nuances of things. And how do you develop all the subtlety of the mind? By your experiences, by looking at life. A friend comes and tells you, "Yaar, I don't feel like going to work today." Are you going to give him a huge bhashan about why he should go to work, or understand what he is feeling behind it? What is the feeling behind the statement? Why is he feeling demotivated? Why is he? Are you going to try to understand that, or give him a bhashan about why it's important to work? The first is a gross mind. Give him a bhashan. He knows all that. Until he's feeling demotivated. Yeah, come on. Try to hear what he's not saying. What is the meaning behind the words? Try to understand that. No, but we don't do that. बोला ना बोल दिया बस हो गया अभी काम. The subtlety. Yeah. Or mixing up things. What you heard in one class to from another class, where you have to see, is there a connection or no connection? If there's a connection and you're recalling it, excellent, brilliant. If there's no connection, then what are you doing? Wasting your time. Getting yourself confused and confusing others also. So all this is part of the game of life, that you understand things. Okay. And of course, with the study of Vedanta, you'll get more and more refined. The study itself will refine it, because the study is about subtle things, about seemingly contradictory things. Not really contradictory, seemingly contradictory. Therefore, the study itself will clarify some of that. Okay. Then he is summing up in the last verse of this section. He is saying, Yasya brahmacha shatram cha ubhe bhavata odanam mrutyasya upasechanam cha kaitah veda yatra saha. Says, what to talk about the person who knows this truth? Katam sa vedas. Why? For him, Brahma, Kshatriya, etc., all this Brahmana dharma, Kshatriya dharma is like food, you have to eat it up. Meaning, some experiences in life, so for the Atma, there is, for all this is what? Some apparent manifest things. And what is death? Upasechanam, chutney, pickles. Just to give it a little bit spice of life. This is how one who knows the truth will also take it. A Brahmana dharma. I will do Sandhya Vadanam 3 times a day. Why 3 times? Do a 4th time also, no? 4th time? At 12 o'clock in the night. Tantrikas do it, others don't do it. Oh, that is all. Not sattvic. Who said it is not sattvic? Sharadiya Navaratri, go to the Shankaramatam and see. Half the pujas are tantric. How do you know? I know by reading what is there. Mail has come. And you see what happens on the last day, then you will know is tantric or not. So, in Gujarati you say, na, Reva de, that's how it is. Reva de. Yeah, it's all important, but not Kshatriya dharmas. Yeah, good. Yeah, Kshatriya dharma is very important. A nation exists only because of Kshatriya dharma, not otherwise. If there is no Kshatriya dharma, there is no nation. Reva de, we are talking about the oneness of the whole universe. What about birth, death, etc.? That's just the spice of life. Thoda chutney hai. Yeah. on one hand, the Shastra will emphasize the importance of all these dharmas. On the other side, he will dismiss it also. The standpoint. Yes, Swamiji, I don't know the truth. For me, all this becomes important. How long? How long? Really, you really believe in Brahmana Dharma, etc.? Yes, Swamiji, very much. Even now I do Sandhya Vandanam. I am 70-year-old. You should have taken sannyasa by now. If you are really following Brahmana Dharma, Varnashrama Dharma, and you are 70-year-old, you should have taken sannyasa. Correct or not? Varnashrama Dharma is there, na? क्या कर रहा है? समझी, my grandchildren are क्या हो गया? What happened to all your commitment to dharma? If you are really following Varnashrama Dharma, and that is part of Hinduism, then follow it, no, all the way. Nobody follows it all the way, I am telling you. Nobody can follow it all the way. It's better if you are not ready, not taking some sannyasa is better. Don't believe it, a priest, a Brahmana priest came and told me, he is 50-year-old now. Swamiji, when I am 60, 10 years, I want to take sannyasa. Will you give it to me? I said, sure, on one condition. What? That you have learnt some Prakarana Granthas, the Gita, half a dozen Upanishads, and the Brahma Sutras. After that, if I think you are ready for it, I will give it to you. Oh, not before that. I said, no, not before that. Sannyasa is not like some giving Filmfare awards or something like that. Or certificates after a workshop, participation certificate. Sannyasa is not like that. So, okay, I know sometimes in this class I tend to be a little bit critical. I don't mean to be critical, I mean to be hard hitting. Okay, because I want people to examine their own belief systems, etc. My job is not to make you comfortable and laugh all the time. Yeah. So, examine that. So, on one side it's important, it's highlighted, the other side it is dismissed as not very important. So, strike that balance and you will be fine. With this, the Prathama Adhyaya, Dvitiya Valli is over. The second canto is over. So, next time we will start the third canto. So, any questions, clarifications, or we call it a day? What is it?
Maybe I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, even in Gita and even in this Upanishad, a lot of emphasis is on the mind, the preparation of mind, because the knowledge takes place in the mind.
Correct.
So, lot of disciplines have come, like yoga,
Whatever,
mantra, dance, all these disciplines have come, and they all stop at the preparation of the mind.
Correct,
right?
correct.
And they take that leap. So sometimes we feel that if we compare a Vedanta student and these people, their mind is so focused and so powerful. So then where do you draw a line? How much preparation is required? Like you keep thinking that hoega, but there is no, like it's not an exam that you get 35 marks in 60 months.
Yeah,
you
there
don't
are.
know whether it's prepared or not. It's like how do you know where you are? Like if you're studying for so many years, you cannot judge yourself. You don't know where you are.
So sit down and that is why we have one-to-one with teachers. Sit down and do one-to-one with your teacher. You will find out where you are. Number one. Number two, everyone who is prepared mind need not come to Vedanta. Why? Because they are not chosen it. They may be highly prepared mind, but they are not chosen it. I know one guy who comes to the Upanishad, read the Upanishad, but will take only the verses that deals with energy and things like that, because his whole focus is lost there. So he is not yet ready for moksha. He is only that level, which is fine. You let him be. The choice of moksha is not made. That's why now you understand why that verse highlighted it so much. Yam esha vranate tena labhyaha. So that's where it is. Prepared mind may not come to moksha. You can come to moksha before your mind is fully prepared. In fact, that is what happens with most students. So along with the study, you take care of the mind. Along with the study, you take care of the mind. It will work. Whatever fine tuning has to be done. That's why when it comes to the mind, I don't give it to you in black and white pictures. You must have sama, dama, titiksha. I don't say that. I always go into nuances. Because direct everyone knows by now. It is the nuances where the problems come up. It is the grey area where the things come up. That was easy for me to know. You know? A prepared mind has to have viveka, vairagya, sama, dama, uparati, titiksha, shraddha, samadhana. Yes, ab hoega to hoega. And you will also go with a block understanding. But I don't do that. I talk about nuances. Every class slightly different. Because the nuances is where you have to fine tune. Yeah. So good place to stop. At 8:15 I have another Zoom meeting to discuss about our Vedic Wisdom Festival. That's all coming, okay? So we'll put it up in the groups. Save the date. First weekend of December. Okay? So I'm having a Zoom meeting and discussing on that. Yeah. Yeah?
May I?
Yeah.
I have a question.
Shoot.
So Swamiji, when we were discussing about Ashariram, Sharireshu, and Anavasteshu Avasthitam, the bottom line was that where we see, the reality has to be pointed out within the limitation that we see around us.
Exactly. You have to recognize the reality in what is the limited. The limitless in the limited. Yeah.
So, I have more of a practical kind of question in this case, where, in my experience, whatever I see, all I see is limitation alone.
Correct.
Yeah.
So in all this experience of limitation, what is the limitlessness? You. That you have to understand that you. Yeah. That's why the whole study. Yeah. Don't worry.
My question was like,
Yeah.
I understand it's a very nuanced thing. As in, when I see physical names and forms, how do I recognize within the names and forms that which is neither name nor a form?
Put it like this. How do you recognize a round earth when you are walking on the flat earth?
My experience
By understanding, not by experience. You are not experienced, only by knowledge.
But my experience of a flat earth is only accommodated within the knowledge of
Exactly.
being around Earth.
So similarly, once your knowledge becomes clearer, you will be able to accommodate the mithya and the satyam.
Right, I understand.
Yeah. Okay. Take care. All the best.